Hey, we're doing our second lesson today in Unit E, which is equations and inequalities. And today we're going to start learning how to solve equations. Yesterday we talked about solving equations, but we mainly use mental math, whereas today we're going to be using algebra tiles to help us to solve our equations. So here are our standards that we're going to be addressing in today's lesson. So you can go ahead and take a peek at those, and then we'll get going. All right, so we've got algebra tiles, and we used them a little bit before, but we didn't really get very far into them. Now, there is a video on the Moodle that helps to explain algebra tiles a little bit better if you're still a little unsure of what today is. So I encourage you to go ahead and look at that. But for here, we can solve some simple equations using these two type of algebra tiles. This one over here, that happens to be the bigger one, is considered an x. It's x long and it's 1 wide, so 1 times x equals x, so this is going to be an x. This happens to be our 1 tile. It's a 1 by 1, so this just represents the number 1 and a positive 1 at that. This is a positive x. So if we go ahead and look down here, it says what expression does 1 x tile and 6 1 tiles represent? Well, what do we think? This right here represents what expression? We've got 1x, and we have how many 1s? 6, and they're all positive, so this represents x plus 6. Good job. All right, using algebra tiles to solve the equation x plus 3 equals 7. How do you represent, boy, this is just in the way. I'm going to try and do that. How do you represent the left side of the equation? How do you represent the right? So let's just look at that. This is our left side. We need to put x plus 3 over here. So how am I going to do that? Oh, I'm going to need this. I'm going to grab 1x, and then I need 1, 2, 3 1s. So I have x plus 3. So how would I do this side over here? Well, I hope you said just bring 7 of these beautiful 1s over here. So I got 4, 5, 6, and 7. So has that answered our question? It says, how do you represent the left side? How do you represent the right side? This is how we would use algebra tiles. I've got x plus 3 is equal to 7. So perfect. If we were to move on, represent the equation using an x tile and 10 1 tiles. We did that. If we look back here, we've got 3 1 tiles over here and 7 over here, so a total of 10. And this is our x tile, so we're doing well there. Over here, solve the equation by getting the x tile by itself on one side. You can take away 3 tiles from each side by taking away the same from both. All right, so look at here. Remember yesterday when we talked about how this is like a balance, a weight balance, and that as long as we do the same operation to both sides, it's going to remain equal, and that's what we need it to do. This is an equal side. We can't let it tip one way or another. So if we go ahead and take away, we're trying to get x all by itself, for the record. We want to know that x equals something. We don't want x plus something equals another number. We want x by itself, so we can say without a doubt x is the same thing, or it's equal to, and then a number. So in order to get x by itself, I need to get rid of these 3 single tiles. If I take 3 away from this side, if I don't want to tip the scales, that means I also need to take 3 away from this side. And when I do that, I am left with 1x is equal to 4. So x equals 4. Perfect. That's exactly what we got down here in our step 3. Let's try it again. Here we want to set up our equation using algebra tiles. Draw this in your notes. Step 2, get the x tile all by itself. draw the process in your note. Step 3, draw the solution in your note. So you're going to have to draw this on your own. I want you to take out a piece of paper and physically draw this on your own. So we need to go ahead. Oh, sorry. I meant to slide this. We need to set this up. So what does this side look like? This side is going to look like an X, and then we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. And then over here equals 8. So I need 8 squares. This is how we would start it. Seven, 8. And when I do that, I want to get X by itself. So how do I do that? I have to take all of these and take them out. So remove 4 from this side. So subtract 4 from the left side. I have to remember to subtract 4 from the right side. And once I do that, I am left with X by itself and 4 singles over here. So therefore, X equals 4 again. Perfect. That's what we're going to continue to do in our homework today. I do have some algebra tiles for you to take and cut out and have on your own if you like using them. Otherwise, you can just continue to draw them out.